Hello, ladies and gentlemen. PWF2K Proudly Presents Crush Hour. And of course, we're starting things off with the 7 Continents Championship Gauntlet match. As of course you see on the screen, 2 superstars will start in the ring. When one superstar is eliminating, a new superstar appears. Elimination can occur by pinfall, submission, and or disqualification. And this match will continue until one superstar remains. And they will be declared the winner of our opening contest tonight, as well as become the first ever PWF2K 7 Continents Champion. Of course, our first entrant tonight in this match is none other than Superman, one of the 4 confirmed entrants in this match. The other confirmed entrants are, of course, the Joker, Casey Jones, and James Bond. Superman, out of all those competitors, has been the one we've seen the least of. Of course, Superman was in that Fatal 4-Way with those aforementioned superstars, but that has been so far his only match here in the PWF. Joker, of course, has been consistent, as well as James Bond, who James Bond is one of the top favorites to win this match, as he is undefeated currently. He has not lost a single match in singles or tag competition. We first saw James Bond on the last episode of Collision, as he fought against Knuckles. Superman has been biding his time, but he is here tonight and is going to enter this match. He has to face off against 7 other competitors, and even though he's the Man of Steel, I don't know which man is durable enough to outlast 7 other competitors in a gauntlet match. Once again, this is of course for the 7 Continents Championship, one of the newest titles. Not the only title we're going to see tonight, as of course the tag titles will be on the line. The question is, however, who is he going to face at entry number 2? Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fat Bastard. Now, he was actually supposed to debut at episode 2 of Collision. However, due to Mr. Clean backing out of that match, as he deemed he did not have to face an opponent like the Fat Bastard, and he doesn't operate, well, in his words, operate on the PWF's time. This man's impending debut was halted, and it seems he's found a chance to make his debut here tonight, challenging for some championship gold. What better way to debut into PWF than on pay-per-view? However, he has a daunting task against him, as he has to face off against Superman, who doesn't look too pleased that this man is his opponent. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, big Samoan strike. Or Scottish strike, in the sense that this big man, this rather large man, immediately is just dominating Superman. That's the thing about these gauntlet matches. You can prepare for who your opponent is going to be. I don't think Superman have expected the Fat Bastard to appear here tonight. Big stomp to the gut. Very early on, you just see the power displayed by the Fat Bastard. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is his name, and that is what he wants to be addressed by. Superman taken to the outside of the ring. Now what is this? Working on the legs. I don't think Superman expected his night to start off like this. Trying to fight back, but Fat Bastard is too big to knock down. We'd of course like to thank everyone for joining us here tonight Because, of course, you get to see the arena. A lot of space to fight out here. Superman on the top now. He must have been planning for something. A fat bastard is working on him, and oh, Superman tumbles. We, of course, have a lot of action later tonight. In our main event, Super Mario faces off against Mr. Clean for the PWF2K Championship. The tag titles, as I mentioned, are on the line as the Broken Choir still awaits a challenge. We will also see the Battle of the Gods as Genji Rysker fights against Koopa Christ. And Luigi is going up against Osiris in a grudge match. Superman, the first cover of the matchup here tonight. And the fat bastard kicks out. And it's also been confirmed as our last match to be confirmed here tonight. Shadow. Oh, fat bastard goes dumping out of the ring. Shadow is going to fight DK in a rematch from Halloween Havoc. Fat bastard just gets railed into the guardrail. What is Superman thinking of? Oh, kind of like an alligator roll. Big move on the outside. Of course, these two fighting on the outside right in front of the PWF faithful. And a big pile driver to the outside. Yes, there is padding out there, ladies and gentlemen, but believe me, you do not want to land on that. Underneath that padding is nothing but concrete. This has been a really big showing, no pun intended, for Fat Bastard here tonight. As he's kind of steamrolled Superman, who isn't a small man by any means. Oh! And that's it! Ladies and gentlemen, Superman has been eliminated from this match. And here comes the next entry, the Joker. Joker, someone who has yet to get his first win here tonight. First win in PWF. And you see some kind of strategy by the Joker. He's not rushing to get in the ring with Fat Bastard. They're very similar in height, but the build and the muscle difference is there. Working on the face now of the Joker. You know, something that's been going through the mind of the PWF fans as of late is, what is Joker's next goal? Obviously, he's here to become champion in this match, but you have to think, one of the last times we've seen him in the ring, Osiris not only attacked Luigi, but also struck the Joker. A lot of fans have been wondering how Joker is going to handle something like that. Being disrespected by Osiris as he gets manhandled by the Joker. Manhandled by Fat Bastard, my apologies. Going for the cover again. Joker kicks out. And I'm honestly surprised that Superman had been eliminated so easily. Now working on the shoulder of the Joker, leg sweep by the Joker. This is going to be a long night, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you are ready. We have 6 in total big matches. Joker just strangling Fat Bastard, trying to cut some circulation. What is Joker thinking of? He's going to the top rope, ladies and gentlemen. The high-risk district. Maybe not. Trying to lift Fat Bastard up. But it didn't work. And oh! Big slam, big choke slam like maneuver. Now what is this? Off the ropes now. Big splash. But a 300+ pounder. And the Joker still finding the urge to kick out. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of entrants in this match that are looking to walkout champion. But I feel like the bigger goal is who can eliminate the fat bastard. He's already taken out Superman, as the Joker is very impressive here tonight. I'm not sure the Joker is enough to take out Fat Bastard. Oh, look at this. Walking the ropes, Elix skipper style, and landing with an elbow drop. Fitting enough considering Joker has been looking to prove himself. Prime time! Impressive body slam! I don't even know where Joker managed to get the strength to do that. And oh! That code breaker! We've seen him hit that on Mario. And Joker! I can't believe it, but he managed to beat Fat Bastard! And here comes the next entrant in this match. Leon Kennedy. Leon, we saw debut on the last episode. He made quick work of his opponent. You see Fat Bastard on the outside, still reeling. You know, Leon's been very impressive in the one match we've shown him, but that was only a minute long, if I remember correctly. This is an even longer match, and he has to deal with more opponents than just a skeleton. He has to deal with people like the Joker, an insane madman. He has to deal with people like Casey Jones, like James Bond, and a lot more people who haven't been announced in this match. Joker mocking him with that kick. And a big drop kick, a basement drop kick, but a lot more elevation. Leon, there it is, his patented moonsault. But it's not enough to put away the Joker. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't hear the other announcement relating to the PWF, PWF Plush is going to return in the future with a 4-match card dubbed Scraping the Rust. These two trading strikes here tonight, but it looks like Leon is going to take the advantage. Oh, massive spin kick, a roundhouse kick. Setting up here, German suplex. And a spear by Leon. Could he have put away the Joker? And he has. Leon managed to put away the Joker. And wait a minute! I don't believe it! That's Pizza Mod Mario! Pizza Mod Mario is in PWF! Oh my god! I can't believe it, ladies and gentlemen. Master Mike! Pizza Mod Mario is in the PWF! But it looks like it could be over just as soon as it started. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, he is part of another company similar to PWF, known as PCW. As a matter of fact, he's the owner of PCW, a company affiliated with the PWF who, at one of their last shows, we've seen one of PWF's own talent wrestle on the PCW card. But shocking to say that the owner of PCW is here, and he's taking a beating at the hands of Leon Kennedy. Kick out by Michael. Master Mike, as you see, he's sporting his old shirt. Oh! Similar what the Joker mobs Leon for doing. I'm still surprised that Master Mike is here. But Leon is not letting up. It doesn't matter if you're YouTube famous or not. He wants the 7 Continents title, and he's going to whoever it takes to get him to that championship. Now what is this? Off the ropes again. Big arm drag. And that big super kick. That's the move that put away a Skeletal. And a spear again. And that's it. For Master Michael. I'm sorry to say that it ended that way. No. Looks like some big trouble is ahead for Leon Kennedy as he has to deal with the undefeated James Bond. I'm still surprised that Master Mike accepted this match and was able to come. I had no clue he was going to be here. And James Bond, somebody, oh, that taunting got him nowhere. As you see on the screen, Master Mike has been eliminated. But Leon Kennedy is on a roll. I think he might walk out winner here tonight. He miscalculated there with that moonsault. And oh, Sling Blade. And connects with the basement dropkick. Big punch by the British Super Spy. You know, James Bond, as we've mentioned before, this man might honestly be the future of this company with the momentum he has. But Leon Kennedy is looking to be a part of that future. As he's taking the first beating we've seen here tonight, misses the elbow drop, didn't exactly get all of it. And now, collar tie-up. James Bond taking control here tonight. But Leon pushes him off. Duck over. Ducks over again. And a big forearm. Leon Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen. He's been on a roll. I really don't know if anyone could stop him. So far, it looks like James Bond is the closest bet we have. Irish whip now. Scoop slam. Goes for the cover. Kick out at 1. Big uppercut. What is this? Oh! Clothesline to the outside. And James Bond not trying to fight on the outside of the ring. He's trying to stay in the ring. And oh, pop-up powerbomb. Goes for the cover now. Kick out at 1. Leon, jumping clothesline. And now James Bond is the one on the outside of the ring. Try to go for that double axe handle, but no. Reverses whatever James Bond had in plan. And, oh! Leon taking it to James Bond on the outside of the ring, bringing him back into the ring, of course. You could only win by pinfall and or submission in the ring. Going for an alligator roll of his own, and oh, the strength of Leon Kennedy. And now, twist of fate. James Bond manages to get up in the nick of time, but I don't know if it'll be enough to stop Leon. Leon has been the most dominant person in this match. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is just the first contest of tonight. This is just the first matchup we have. We still have a lot more. Up next, if I recall, is going to be Genji Rysker versus Koopa Christ. James Bond trying to get some momentum back. Feeling it from the fans. Feeling it from the PWF faithful. Try to go for a clothesline. And maneuvers it into like a backbreaker. What could he be thinking here? Could he possibly have found something to put... Could he possibly found something to put Leon Kennedy away? He has that armbar locked in. But Leon fighting out of it. And oh! Impressive maneuver. I don't know if it'll be it. And he beats James Bond. Leon manages to beat James Bond. And look who we have here. Wario, who we haven't seen since the first episode of Collision. I'm surprised James Bond, who was the favorite of this match, managed to get beaten, and I honestly don't believe anyone could beat Leon Kennedy. Springboard elbow. And the stomp to Wario. Is that going to be it for Wario? And it is! Wario didn't even get to hit a single move. And of course we have one more competitor. Casey Jones. Casey Jones, who's running down to the ring. I'm gonna be honest, as much as I am a big fan of Casey Jones, I really don't know if he can stop the momentum. If James Bond couldn't stop the momentum of Leon Kennedy, I don't know who can. Super kick! And now going for that stomp again, Leon has 1,000 moves under his arsenal. Will this be enough? And it is! Leon is the first 7 Continents champion! Ladies and gentlemen, Leon Kennedy is incredible! Leon Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen, is the first ever 7 Continents champion. He, of course, will be awarded his championship. When we get to the back, you will see it in the press release. I can't believe what we've seen, ladies and gentlemen. Leon Kennedy came in and destroyed everyone. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's not all we have here tonight for Crush Hour. Up next, it is going to be Genji Rysker versus Koopa Christ. Battle of the Gods. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Battle of the Gods. The third encounter between the Demigod, Genji Rysker, and Koopa Christ. Genji Rysker, you know, he's yet to get his first win. That is something honestly shocking to me, that Genji Rysker of all talents has yet to get his first win here in the PWF. You know, these fans may not necessarily align with him, but you can't deny this guy's talent. He's kind of in a class of someone like Koopa Christ, who you just can't really get behind them as a person, but you can't deny their wrestling ability, and that's what makes this whole feud weird. Koopa has disrespected Genji Rysker, yet he's openly given him props. There's a lot of chemistry between these two in ring as opponents, and that raises the question, at some point, if they decide to bury the hatchet, how much more dominant will these two be? Here comes someone. If you think Genji Rysker is detestable, you haven't seen anything yet. It's Wrestling Jesus. Wrestling Jesus Koopa Christ. Who we've mentioned before has disrespected Genji Rysker by leaving him behind in a tag team match. However, he's openly given him props. He's respected Genji Rysker on the mic. You know, Koopa's been dominant ever since PWF2K launched. I mean, yes, he's lost against Mr. Clean in a TLC match, but in terms of Collision, he's never lost a televised match. And we last saw Koopa face off against Eddie in the main event of episode 4. Despite the distraction by Genji Rysker, Koopa still walked out dominant. Genji has yet to beat Koopa Christ. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Battle of the Gods 3, the third encounter between both men. You know, Genji Rysker has a good few months worth of frustration he needs to let out here tonight. Koopa tried to go for a high arsenal move, but didn't get to due to the referee getting in his way. And what could he be setting up here? Oh, he's going outside for a table. Immediately, we're going to get hardcore, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like PWF style. Given our motto is, of course, violence is golden. We're going to see some violence here tonight. Koopa Christ, no stranger to weapons like tables. Now look at this, oh! Koopa Christ missed a double axe handle. But he doesn't miss that small package. Now imagine if the match ended right then and there. Big clothesline. Imagine how Genji Rysker would feel if that was the end of this match. Big clothesline. Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that Genji Rysker has been outsmarted by Koopa Christ time and time again. But that doesn't seem to stop him. No! just threw a whole table at this man. Sending that table up the corner. Drop toe hold. Big knee. Doesn't look like he's done using that table as a weapon. Looks like he's grabbing more weapons. And now he has a Singapore cane. Oh! Singapore cane versus hockey stick. Looks like we know which one wins in that encounter. Irish whip to the outside. Spear. Look at look at Koopa. Just taunting the fans. And oh! Looks like he didn't get all of that exactly. Big knee to the face. Now a dragon screw. Oh! Shot with that hockey stick. Shout out to our Canadian brothers who are watching this internationally from HWE. And another shot with that kendo stick. I said, ladies and gentlemen, that Genji Rysker has a lot to get through here tonight, and a spear of his own. Imagine what a win it would be for Genji Rysker. Oh! If he was able to beat a former PWF champion. Looks like Koopa going for the cover again. 2 count. That was so close to being over, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I already know this match is going to be an instant classic. These two have always delivered. What could Koopa possibly been thinking there? As I said, these two have always delivered when it comes to high-profile matches. And now, we're on pay-per-view, and oh! Koopa just hit the steel stairs. Now, Hurricane Rana. And wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute! Oh, that could have been it, ladies and gentlemen. The third encounter between these two men. Any move could be it, and oh! Genji Rysker's head just clips the solid steel stairs. Just barely. And a big knee. And I'm just stomping out the limbs of Koopa Christ. We've seen Eater of Men actually hit their finisher. But Genji Rysker has been non-stop here tonight. And what is this? Could he possibly try to do something with that table? But no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, the overshot! Ladies and gentlemen, this could be it. It could be over for Genji Rysker. And no, he kicks out at 1. And wait a minute, wait a minute! Taste of his own medicine! A taste of Koopa's own medicine! Could this be it? Could this be it? Only a 2 count. Ladies and gentlemen, that could have been the end of this match. That could have been the end of this match. just like one of their first encounters, I believe their second encounter ended that exact way, where Koopa managed to muster up enough energy to hit his finisher. He managed to hit the Koopa Cutter, and it was over. Ladies and gentlemen, we're only on match 2 of what is surefire to be the most electric pay-per-view in PWF history. Flatliner and oh, look at this! Look at this! Ladies and gentlemen, it could be over! This could be the end of Genji Rysker! But no, Genji Rysker still manages to fight out. And a spear of his own. And now look at this, the mind games. Both men going back and forth. And now grabbing a second kendo stick. These two are fighting up the stage now. Now, Koopa throwing him back into the ringside area. You know, Koopa is a veteran here in PWF. He knows what he has to do to put away his opponents. That's why he's grabbing that chair now. But Genji Rysker calculated it. Very big chair shots. Oh, what is this? What could he be setting up here? Oh, big splash. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an intense matchup. Neither man letting out. Neither man wants to walk home saying they lost to the other competitor. Look at this. Genji Rysker taunting Koopa. And here we go, they're trading blows, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who's going to walk out the victor of this match. It could go either way. It could be Wrestling Jesus. It could be Koopa Christ. It could be the Demigod. It could be Genji Rysker. And wait a minute. Genji Rysker stands tall. Ladies and could this be it? Could this be it? It's not. Genji Rysker, no matter what he does, he can't put away Koopa Christ. What more does this man have to do? Wait a minute, he just lit the table on fire. He just lit the table on fire. That table is on fire, ladies and gentlemen. Overshot! Nobody home! Genji Rysker. No, wait. Genji, please, please! Oh my god. He just put Koopa Christ on the freaking table! Listen to the PWF faithful. This is awesome indeed. I don't know how he's still standing after that. Oh my god! chucked 1,000-pound stairs into the face of Genji Rysker. He could have broken his nose. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be one of the most hardcore matches PWF has ever seen. But he's not letting up. Spear. He could be going for one final overshot. And he hits it. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be over. This could be over. But no. Genji Rysker, that might have been all he has left. He's going for the cover again. He's going for the cover again. Not even a 1 count. Genji Rysker. He has to win this match. This isn't a want. He doesn't want to beat Cooper Christ anymore. He needs to beat Cooper Christ. But Cooper Christ will not let him win. He has to earn this win. He has to earn this win. He has to beat Cooper Christ to win each of his life. I think that might be the only way he has to win. Genji Rysker, High-Risk District, Frog Splash. This match has me sounding like Rombuster, ladies and gentlemen. That's how intense this is. This could be the third move. The third Sister Abigail. He beats him. Genji Rysker finally dethrones Cooper Christ. I can't believe it, ladies and gentlemen. Genji Rysker beat Cooper Christ. 2-1. Genji wins the Battle of the Gods. Now the question is, what's next? Oh. What's this? He's going to the outside now, and what could he be doing here? Oh! Genji Rysker kind of showing respect to Cooper Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, what an intense match. That may be match of the night, and we still have much more. Ladies and gentlemen, PWF Crush Hour continues. Ladies and gentlemen, up next is the tag team title match. As it was announced on social media, the Broken Choir are looking to challenge any team for the vacant PWF Tag Team Championships. Zane Saint Savior in the back with the leather jacket. Jay Crow with the Plague Doctor mask. You know, these two are former tag team champions outside of the company, and they wanted this match. We didn't really have that many tag teams ready and viable to challenge for the tag titles, but Zane Saint Savior and Jay Crow wanted a challenge. We, of course, last saw Jay Crow in the losing effort to Zane, Zane has been on a roll here in PWF. But the question is, who are they going to have to face off against? And I think we have our answer. It's the ICP. Shaggy and Violent J are here, and they're looking to challenge for the tag titles. course, haven't seen these two since their debut match. But it's awesome to say that for the first time ever, the ICP face off against the Broken Choir. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the third match of the night is looking to be electric. We still have a lot more. Luigi versus Osiris, Shadow versus DK2, and our main event for the PWF2K Championship, Mario versus Mr. Clean. All this and more here at Crush Hour. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you've been enjoying Crush Hour so far, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure to follow us on twitch.tv/SadistikYOTN so you can watch these events live. A hidden blade-like maneuver. You know, Zayn is so calorie. Oh, my apologies. I cannot alliterate after tonight. So calibrated in his style of attack. He knows where to systematically break down his opponents. And in comes J. Crow, someone who's a lot more riskier. As you've seen, he's often the one to take the crazier moves between the two. But he's just as effective in the ring. And of course, in there with not exactly ring generals, but veterans of the sport in the form of the Insane Clown Posse. Look at it. Look at this. Violent J, the big man of this matchup, looking to be a threat. And again, showing off his strength. You know, this could go either way, ladies and gentlemen. Either one of these men could walk out champion. Either of these two men can walk out champions. Shaggy 2 Dope in the ring now. Staring off Sadistic J. Crow. Irish open to the corner. Big forearm. Now look at this, just working on J. Crow, but J. Crow manages to stay in this fight. And now look at this. Rock smooth DDT. Springboard leg drop now. You know, one has to wonder what the mindset is with the Broken Choir, you know. They had to prepare for anyone. Submission locked in, face lock. But at the same time, there's only so much preparing you could do. What if they weren't able to account for people who aren't exactly an official tag team like Casey Jones and Pepsi Man? What if they were to account for other people in that Gauntlet match to want to enter as a tag team and go after gold if they fail to win? That's what makes open challenges so enticing, yet not necessarily haunting, but you don't know who your opponent is. I'm not sure they could have predicted the Insane Clown Posse. However, that makes it easier for the ICP because all they had to do was just study up on Broken Choir matches. Violent J dominating Zayn Saint Savior. The Fire to Heavens versus the Juggalo. Look at Crow. He desperately wants to tag. And he got it, ladies and gentlemen. Shaggy 2 Dope was tagged in as well. No, look at this. all that taunting kind of took up some time. Now look at this. Oh! Sadistic J. Crow is so impressive in that ring. He can do moves like no one else. But Shaggy is matching his stamina. We're seeing a lot of the ICP here tonight that we didn't get to see last time. Twist the fate of his own. Try to go for that seated senton. Nobody home. Look at this. You know, I gotta respect the teamwork that Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope have. They know each other better than the Broken Choir know each other. And they're using a lot of frequent tags. That keeps the opponents on their toes and helps both men stay energized. We haven't really gotten to see that with the Broken Choir. It's usually been J. Crow for a big portion and then Zayn for a big portion. And look what that does. That causes him to be tired. But J. Crow's still trying to get the pin. See on the outside, in the corner there, Zayn, Saint, Savior to fire to heavens. Now the fire to heavens is officially tagged in. But Shaggy, again, those frequent tags I mentioned, coming into play right there. German suplex, this could be it. And it is! The Broken Choir are new tag champions! I did not expect that match to end that way. And look at this, they're mocking. They are now mocking the Insane Clown Posse, taunting them as they get to walk out tag team champions. Those titles will also be awarded to them later tonight. That match could have gone either way. These two just making fun of the Insane Clown Posse here tonight. But that doesn't take away from what the Insane Clown Posse and the Broken Choir have been able to do. Congratulations, Broken Choir. You are the new tag team champions. Ladies and gentlemen, Crush Hour continues.
Greatness at its greatest.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next matchup is set to be big. Another match has been brewing almost since the beginning of PWF2K. It all started when Osiris fought Luigi on the first episode of Collision. After that, Osiris kind of kept monitors on Luigi, and it led to Osiris attacking Luigi. But Luigi, of course, got his revenge on episode 4, leading this match to be made here tonight, an Extreme Rules match. The Devil himself looks to face off against the real #1 here tonight. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen, Luigi. A much beloved fan favorite here in the PWF. Luigi looking to finally put away Osiris once and for all, who's been a thorn in his side for quite some time here tonight. Luigi, of course, getting a lot of love from the fans, and oh! Osiris with that cheap shot, and the match is underway, ladies and gentlemen. This is Extreme Rules. Oh! Anything goes, ladies and gentlemen. And Osiris, while this may not be a death match, Osiris, you could argue, has a lot more experience with hardcore style matches. Yes, Luigi's part of the PWF. Yes, he's part of the company that claims that violence is golden. But at the same time, Osiris has been doing death matches long before the PWF was even a concept. Luigi with a sit-out powerbomb of his own. And now throwing Osiris into the ring. Luigi bringing out a ladder. And being the high flyer he is, I think I know what he's going to do with it. And Osiris, I guess you could say he paid a little tribute to a certain friend of his. And Luigi showing that high flying ability here tonight. That is the advantage he has against someone like Osiris, who's not necessarily a cruiserweight by any stretch of the imagination. Working on the arm. And Luigi really feeling it from these fans. No, look at this. Innovative DDT. You know, I'm honestly still reeling from the last hardcore match we've seen earlier tonight. If you were just tuning in, whether you're on Twitch or watching a replay on YouTube, earlier tonight we saw Genji Rysker manage to defeat Wrestling Jesus Cooper Christ in what might honestly be match of the year. And now an X Factor. Luigi with a moonsault, nobody home. Now look at Osiris, look what he has planned. Looking to bring out a table. Osiris goes directly into the ring barricade. I guess that trash can thrown at him. And look at Luigi taunting Osiris. Oh! Osiris just in the nick of time. More likely than not off reflex, was able to dodge that crossbody. Oh! Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of open space for where usually we'd have a lot of commentary tables. However, ladies and gentlemen, I am safe behind a commentary booth backstage. Because let's be sure, that table would have probably been broken already from the first match. And I do not want to be out here setting up tables every night. Luigi just a bit too far off as he gets caught with that big move. That big rolling elbow. Drop kick to the knee of Osiris. And it's smart if Luigi was to focus a lot on the limbs. Osiris is someone who's dealt with injury in the past. And it would be really wise to be able to capitalize on that. combo by Osiris, and uh-oh, Kyle driver time! Kyle driver! The Kyle driver. Big move. But Osiris got a little bit too caught in his head. DDT just barely dents the garbage can. Oh, Osiris, a lot of veteran instinct. Another elbow. Oh, what is this? Oh, I thought he was going to go for was a surfboard stretch. And what is Osiris setting up here? Took a little bit too much time, and the L trigger! The L trigger! Ladies and gentlemen, that could have been it. Luigi managed to hit the L trigger out of nowhere. Luigi with a tilt-a-whirl head scissors. And Osiris kicking out a lot faster. I think even he knows the L trigger could have been the end of this match. Oh! The NGOA! The NGOA, ladies and gentlemen, out of nowhere as well. Oh, he stopped himself. Osiris looking to send a message to Luigi. Even clearer. Buckle bomb. And now another NGOA. Luigi may just not get out alive. And that is exactly what happens. Osiris with blood all over his face walks out the victor of this match. To any Luigi fans out there, I'm sorry. It's just when Osiris is involved, nobody gets out alive. Ladies and gentlemen, up next is another feud that has been brewing, but not for the better part of this year, the better part of 7 years. Shadow and DK face off for the first time since Halloween Havoc, and that match is next.
Watch your mouth when you're talking to me. I knock you out. Peace definitely. I hold it. Watch your mouth or you might get hit in one piece, two piece.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next is a feud that has been building for years. Shadow and DK face off, and DK not that energetic here tonight compared to last time we saw him in the ring, but of course he knows that he has to be focused. He's not dealing with a competitor who's been a thorn in his side. He's dealing with a competitor who has taken him out and put him on the sidelines. Shadow, the ultimate life form. These two have a lot of history. If you don't know, this was the first major feud here in the PWF almost 7 years ago. And it led to the first ever hardcore match at Halloween Havoc 2019, where Shadow managed to hit that sacrifice arm breaker that he's become very infamous for, and break DK's arm. And despite it being teased, these two didn't really get a second match against each other. But all these years later, it was Shadow of all people to call out DK for a rematch. And DK, of course, accepted. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This match isn't going to be as hardcore as the last one. Of course, it is a sanctioned match. However, it is more so under standard rules. But with these two men involved, with the history, the bad blood between either men, I don't see it being PG for long. Look at DK. Shadow is just laid out, ladies and gentlemen. As you see, the height difference. But that doesn't take away from the competitor Shadow is, nor the competitor DK is. DK is the first ever hardcore champion in PWF history. Shadow, while he's yet to hold an official title, has always been claimed as one of PWF's best. And that is for a reason. He is one of the best to ever wrestle in this company. Into the corner. Shadow also very ruthless. As you see here, not letting up. Is that it? No. The match stays in. DK letting himself get too comfortable. DK's kind of calmed down as a sense. He is still the resident monster of the PWF. However, due to events with the prophecy, he's kind of become more relaxed, I guess you could say. I don't like what Shadow has planned. Oh. Could he lift him up? Could he lift him up for an almost dead? Shadow! That match could have ended right there. The strength of Shadow. We're only mere minutes into this match, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what's up with DK tonight. He's not at his game here tonight. I don't know what the game plan for DK is. Looks like he used all his strength to lift him up for the almost dead. I don't know what DK's game plan is here tonight, but he has to, I guess you could say, tap into being the monster once more. He has to remember what Shadow did to him. He has to remember the months he was away. Off the ropes now. DK not having it. Now DK just gets thrown to the outside of the ring. Shadow being very ruthless here tonight. Nobody home again. Very miscalculated. Is the ultimate life form. And a big clothesline that almost just took his head off in the process. DK. DK with a big WMD. And now, oh! Powerbomb to the outside. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, that this match was going to be ruthless. And oh! The pounce. Looks like DK's taking things a lot more seriously. No, try to go for the pounce again, but barely missed it. Just taking him out. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, if I don't sound as enthusiastic as I did earlier tonight, this show has been huge and it's starting to take a toll on my vocal cords. Especially after that Kuba Christ and Genji Rysker match. Now what is this? What could be digging here? He's sending him back to the corner now. Uh-oh. Trio woe position. But it didn't necessarily land. No, look at this. DK showing off his strength. Looks like Donkey Kong is really finally remembering to take this match a lot more seriously. He's becoming that monster he once was. And he's going to ensure that Shadow fears something again. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back after a quick disturbance. Wait. Shadow could have gone for that choke slam. We saw him hit one in the past. But this match could be anyone's game. And it might be DK's. As he looks to deliver the exclamation point in the form of that pounce. And DK of vengeance, 7 years. Donkey Kong finally beats Shadow the Hedgehog. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not all. We have one more special match here tonight. Mario, Mr. Clean, the PWF2K Championship. That is up next.
This next contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the PWF2K Championship.
Mr. Clean, someone who has been champion since November of 2025. is now having his first official title defense here tonight. Mr. Clean and Mario has been one of the most intense things we've seen here in the PWF. But now it's finally coming to blows. These two haven't wrestled each other since the Gold Rush tournament back in 2025. And we are looking to give you this must-see main event, hopefully interruption-free. Super Mario, although he may not have gold on his waist right now, he is still the PWF World Champion. And that title is not on the line here tonight. However, if Mario does walk out champion, if he manages to beat Mr. Clean, he will be the first ever undisputed champion in the PWF. The first person in PWF to hold 2 titles, and especially 2 world titles.
Introducing first the challenger from Brooklyn, New York, Super Mario. And his opponent, he is the reigning PWF 2K Champion, Mr. Clean.
Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is over. This match has been hyped up since January of 2026. And now, it is finally coming to head. The main event of Crush Hour. Mr. Clean, the reigning and defending PWF2K champion. The face of the future that is the PWF2K. Super Mario, the current PWF World Champion. The face of what has already been established as PWF Wrestling. This is the present versus the future, ladies and gentlemen. Called out a tie-up. Mario was able to be the stronger man and push Mr. Clean off. Mr. Clean has been very dominant as champion, although he hasn't really shown up as much in terms of wrestling on the weekly shows. He's still been a force to deal with. However, Mario is no slouch. Last title defense he was in for the PWF Championship was against Shadow at an AZW cross-promotional event. And that match definitely put both AZW and PWF on notice. First cover of the matchup. Now Mr. Clean, he's letting Mario kind of catch his bearings in a way. That jab to the stomach to kind of tell Mario, you're in the ring with me. I'm not in the ring with you. And Mario accepted that challenge, showing off a lot of his arsenal here tonight. Hooks the leg. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is a championship match. Of course, if you don't know how we got to this point, episode 1 of Collision, first show of the new year. Mario won a #1 contenders triple threat match to challenge Mr. Clean at Crush Hour. Episode 2, Mr. Clean was originally supposed to take on the Fat Bastard in singles competition, but he no-showed the event, claiming that he didn't need to operate on this timing of the PWF. He only shows up on his time. That, of course, led to Mario coming out on his own, making a challenge to anyone, which of course would lead to the debuting Skeletor, and Mario would swiftly put Skeletor away. Episode 3, Mr. Clean would return for the first time since the Gold Rush, in which Mario would show his displeasure for Clean as a champion by hitting him with a one-up punch. Oh! The clean cut! The clean cut! Ladies and gentlemen, this match could be as good as over. But no! What a punch! The one-up punch! The one-up punch! The one-up punch! This match could have been over. Mario. Mr. Clean doing whatever he takes to try and take down Mario. But Mr. Clean is finding out why Mario is one of the most resilient guys in the PWF. Miscommunication there. And Mario, Brooklyn Destroyer. Oh, look at this, Mr. Clean. Stepping to the outside of the ring. And gets caught with a clothesline by Mario. Big flapjack. Dead center of the ring. Still a very early kick out. Neither man wants to fail at becoming a champion. Big power slam. bulldog into the corner. Nice rip now into the ropes, and Mr. Clean goes spilling to the outside. Ladies and gentlemen, this match has been nothing but high-paced. Snapmare. Drop kick to the side of the head as Mr. Clean was sandwiched in between Mario's boots and the ring apron. But ladies and gentlemen, we are so close to this being a double countout in which the title does not change hands. If Mario allows himself to get counted out, this match is over. And Mr. Clean knows that. He wants to retain the championship. Mario doesn't want to lose this opportunity. Clothesline. That was scary, ladies and gentlemen. It could have been over. Mr. Clean running the ropes over Mario. Elbow drop, nobody home. Rock smooth DDT. And now, I don't know what Mario had in mind, but it looked like it could have been endgame. And what does Mr. Clean have in mind? That's the real question. Clean press! The clean press out of nowhere! This could be the end of the match, ladies and gentlemen. And Mr. Clean cuts Mario away. What a shocking match, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Clean walks out of Crush Hour, still the PWF2K champion. But the question is, who's next? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on Crush Hour. If you are watching us on YouTube, please be sure to follow us on twitch.tv/SadistikYOTN so you can be notified when episodes of PWF Collision go live. If you are watching this on Twitch, be sure to check us out on YouTube as Super Mario Plus Channel 6 so you can watch all PWF Collision shows updated as well as our entire library. Ladies and gentlemen, we move forward to our next pay-per-view event. My name is not important. I'm just playing with you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time on PWF2K. Thank you for watching.